So, it's been a while since my last Have You Heard Of video, and I asked my viewers to decide which movie should I do next. To my surprise, they picked the movie I am going to be talking about today. What's the movie, you ask? Well, today I will be talking about the movie The Adventures of Elmo in Grouchland. Hi, I'm Yuki. If you're new here, and if you're returning, welcome back, Doodlebuggs. Let's hop into the film, shall we? I want to try something new, so let me know if you guys like this. But yes, I do have a VTuber avatar. Yes, this is what I look like. Okay, with that out of the way, let me quickly go over the background information of the movie that I am currently talking about with you guys today. The Adventures of Elmo in Grouchland is a children's movie that released October 1st of 1999. It has one animated section, but is mostly a live action film along with puppets. It is also a musical with a lot of original songs and music scores. Put that info in the back of your head later. I will be asking you if you remember. But I will go over everything from the plot to the music. But before I do, please remember that in this video will contain spoilers for the film. If you haven't seen this movie before, please go watch it. I really do recommend. But it is kind of hard to find. So, happy hunting. But now, let's talk about the film, shall we? So, let's talk about the story of the film, aka the plot. Okay, so there are technically 3 plots to this movie. The main plot is that Elmo has lost his blanket, which is his best friend, and went down Oscar's trash can and into a portal to a place called Grouchland. As soon as Elmo entered the portal himself, his blanket was taken by Huxley, who is infamous for taking anything and everything and making every item his and his alone. Now, Elmo goes on an epic adventure to get his blanket back. The second plot is a bit important too, but not like the main plot of this film. Most of the neighborhood of Sesame Street, like Big Bird, Oscar, etc., goes down Oscar's trash can to find Elmo in Grouchland. The last plot isn't really a plot, more like an interjection in my opinion. Bert and Ernie will enter throughout the film, stopping the movie to talk about, well, the movie, making jokes each time. Now, the main plot is very entertaining, as watching Elmo explore and go on his own little adventure to get his blanket back is very cute. The second plot is okay in my opinion, as it's just there to show more characterization of the characters of Sesame Street. Now, the last one is not bad, but for me, since I'm not a small little kid anymore, kinda dragged my watch of it down just a tiny bit. Don't get me wrong, I love Bert and Ernie, who doesn't? But I don't like when the film stops just for their input. Also, I didn't know where to put this, but this is just a little comment. I don't know, I'm just going to put it here in the story. But this movie reminds me of Alice in Wonderland. I wonder if it's inspired by the story. Just listen for a second. Elmo falls down a trash can to a door that leads into a portal to a new world, which in this movie is Grouchland. Just like Alice falls down the rabbit hole before she enters Wonderland. Elmo meets a whole new cast of characters just like Alice. Elmo is trying to get his blanket back and get back home just like Alice. Well, Alice isn't looking for her blanket, but she is trying to get back home. I could list more parallels, but come on. Let me know if y'all disagree or agree with me. I want to read every comment. Alrighty, on to the characters. Firstly, Elmo. Since he is the main character we are following in this motion picture. If you have watched or grew up with Sesame Street, you might know what Elmo's character is supposed to be, right? He's a young monster, 3 to 4 years old, who is kind but also has a streak of crashing out / throwing light tantrums when he's overstimulated. And in this movie, he's the exact same way. They still managed to make him very likable. Now onto the newer characters just from this film alone. First character is a grouch girl Elmo meets named Grizzly. Grizzly is an enjoyable side character in the movie. She has that grouchy flair just like the rest of the citizens in Grouchland. But after Elmo helps her not get her favorite doll stolen, she decides to help the little red puppet to get his blanket back by telling him where the villain's home is. But I could have sworn that she played a bigger part in the film. But I guess that was my memory misremembering little details. Now onto Huxley, the villain of the film. Huxley was an enjoyable villain, mainly reminding me of Robbie Rotten from Lazy Town. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, he's more of a mix of Robbie Rotten and Stingy from Lazy Town. Y'all remember Lazy Town? Comment down below if you remember that show. I used to love that show. Anyway, back on topic. Yeah, Huxley is the perfect mix of campy and threatening for a children's villain. Huxley is a massive hoarder and thief who steals anything and everything he wants. Also, his banter and petty back and forth with Elmo is honestly super funny. Like, why is this grown man beefing with a 4-year-old child? He has little minions that are like bug-like puppets that works for him. Speaking of bug-like puppets, let's talk about Bug. Yes, Bug is his name, and he's the main minion for Huxley. Now, what type of bug he is? I'm guessing maybe a roach, but he's too cute to be that. Whoever thought of his design and the overall design of the puppets in this film are super creative. But Bug has an arc where he sees how much of a bad person Huxley is and how much the villain has been mistreating Bug. So instead of giving it back to his boss, he returns it to his rightful owner, which is Elmo. There are so many more side characters, but they are way less important. But their designs seem very cool. And speaking of cool, let's talk about visuals. Now, usually I call this section the animation segment, but there isn't really a whole lot of animation in this movie. So it's being renamed to the visual section instead. Now, you can tell that this movie was released and made in the year 1999, but it has that old school movie vibe that makes it very charming in my opinion. Now, where the visuals shine is the puppets, the scenery, and the puppetry. My god, the movements of each puppet character makes them look like real living creatures. I know that the Jim Henson Company is known for making their puppet characters look and act like they are alive, but this was in the year 1999. This is probably like their earlier years of doing puppets. And in my opinion, that is beyond impressive, since this was also their second Sesame Street movie. I just admire the scale and effort that went into this children's film. Some puppet scenes that I love are in the beginning where you see Elmo and Blanket interact and play with each other in his room. The next one is where Elmo was dancing in the forest. I don't know, I always find it very entertaining when Elmo has a dance sequence in anything, show or movie. Another one is where Big Bird is stuck in Oscar's trash can, because I also think that's funny, but I also kind of like how they made his legs move. And the last one is actually the villain song when it has a shadow puppet scene, and I find that very cool. And speaking of the villain song number, let's talk about the music. So remember when I told you guys that this was a musical? Yeah. So this movie has a total of 6 songs that are all original to this film. Let me talk about some of them songs I like right now. The opener song, Together Forever, is a very upbeat and happy song number. where we see how Elmo truly loved his blanket so much. Also, seeing this full scene again brings me back so many memories, man. Oh, and I always loved the set design of Elmo's room. The villain song, Make It Mine, is honestly very catchy, and the visuals are very funny and match the vibes of this villain song. The last song I really enjoyed was the Welcome to Grouchland song, mainly for the scenery, but the song itself is pretty good. Alright, I'm done with the artwork. I love how vibrant the colors look in this art piece, and I also love the way I did the background. I am getting better at doing backgrounds in my art. But I am super glad I could revisit this movie as an adult and still love it. Now, does it have its flaws? Yes, it does. But they are not that big to make the watching experience super bad. So, do I recommend this film? Yes. Please go watch it if you love anything with puppets, the Sesame Street cast and characters, or you love a fun yet whimsical musical film. My rating for The Adventures of Elmo in Grouchland is a 9 out of 10. But before I go, I have one more thing to say. If you want to support me more, then join my Ko-Fi. You can join my memberships to get early access to videos, shoutouts at the end of my videos, verbal and non-verbal. And if you pay for the highest tier, you will get a custom art piece from me. But if you like my art a lot and you want a custom piece for yourself without paying for something monthly, then consider commissioning me on both Ko-Fi and Vision. But with that, thank you all so much for watching and supporting my videos. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!